Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Trash, the safe place to cleanse your mind, body, and soul of all that trash you consume this week so you can consume some more tomorrow. I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and I am so flattered to have the one, the only, the queen, Susan Petersen on the podcast, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Trash.
Thank you for having me.
Do you need some more clapping, or do you want like fairy sounds?
I
Or
like
that's
it.
crickets.
I
Sorry.
like it all. Well, yeah.
I don't want to give you crickets.
What's that?
What's this one? Oh, that's not good either. That's not good. Laughing.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I was looking for.
The bottom right is
The bottom
pink
right.
fairies.
That's
No,
what
it's
you
beautiful.
deserved for Miss Queen.
I'm just amazed at all the stuff you're doing here.
Yeah, we're trying to be professional.
Well, the fact that you're running your own roadcaster is wild to me.
Yeah. Well, because I know I could put it that way, but then we'd have to figure out the wire situation.
Yeah.
And
No, it's impressive.
So-
I'm super impressed.
I'm like doing everything at once, kind of like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm impressed.
And I was trying to sync my phone because for some reason my phone's not syncing up to my notes on my iPad. So I'm just like kind of all over the place right now.
Thanks for having me because you're a big deal.
Oh my gosh, Susan.
You are.
Stop.
So many people have been like, are you excited to go
Stop.
on Weekly Trash? I'm like, yes.
No, people have asked me, are you excited to have Susan Petersen on your podcast? And when I went on your podcast, everyone was like, oh my gosh, I loved it. Like, Susan's the best.
You did so good.
So you're kind of a big deal, but you already knew that. You've been a big deal for a long time.
I never even think, my kids don't think I'm a big deal, so I don't think I am.
Well, you are. And I
Your
think
kids keep you humble.
your kids should keep you humble. If they didn't keep you humble, then that would be a problem, because what kid thinks their mom is like the coolest ever?
Yeah.
But your daughter probably does think you're the coolest ever. You guys just went to Taylor Swift.
Oh, she's just the best. She's the
She's the
cutest,
best.
the sweetest. I love her so much.
And she's a senior, right?
Junior.
Junior. So she's almost
Yeah,
out
this
of
is
the
my
house.
last summer with her.
Oh my gosh.
It's sad, but also it's like bittersweet. I'm excited for her to go out and spread her wings.
How old is your son?
14. He just turned 14.
Okay, so you still got some time with him.
Yeah, he's 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I have 4 more years.
Okay.
Like I'm facing,
You're in a
gonna-
totally different phase of life than me.
I know you're getting ready to have a baby in 8
I'm
weeks.
Like,
No, 5.
Let's pray for 5. That
5.
would be really cool.
5.
That'd be really cool.
Yes.
But yeah, you've kind of lived this life already, and now you're like on the phase of life that I'm really excited for, when my kids are
Yeah.
like older and I can hang out with them a little bit and take them to Taylor Swift
Yeah.
and do all those things. And hopefully I'm as successful and cool as you by the time
Oh, you are going to be
I'm at that
way
point.
more successful.
How old are you, Susan?
44.
44. You definitely don't look 44.
43 and a half.
No, like you look like you're like 38.
Oh my gosh.
I would have said 38.
That's the goal. I spend a lot of money on my face and on my skin.
And it pays off, because I told you when you're taking pictures, it's flawless.
Thank
So,
you.
Looks
Thank you.
good. I'm tossing the iPad because it's not syncing, so we're using a phone today.
Sinky dinky.
So we got to start from the very bottom with the dumpster deep dive, because
We're going to start from the bottom.
yeah, literally started from the bottom. Susan's podcast, check it out. You already have, so good. But you really have kind of started from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I want to hear all about it. So where are you from?
Okay, so I grew up in a place called Pasco, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like the southeastern side of the state of Washington.
okay.
So like if you're thinking like Seattle, Vancouver, like
The well-known places.
yeah, the western side of the state. Take away all of the greenery. It's like desert.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like on the Snake River. The Snake River goes from like
Okay.
Idaho all the way out to the coast. And I grew up there.
And what was your upbringing like?
Great.
Great.
I have good parents. They're really fun. 6 kids. I was smack in the middle.
Smack in the middle, the middle child.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you had middle child syndrome at all?
I felt like I figured out really young that I could kind of fade into the background and not be like, my parents would kind of forget about me if I
Yeah.
didn't like make too big of a
Yeah,
stink.
kind of get away with a few things.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And did you live there like up until college?
So I didn't go to college. So I lived there until I was 18, 19, like right after I graduated from high school. And then at the time I was working for Lady Foot Locker.
I can see you now in the black and white stripes.
Green and white at Lady Foot Locker.
Oh, it's green and white there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah.
What was your favorite
slanging
shoe to
shoes.
sell? Because you're a shoe girl.
I love shoes.
You're big on the shoes.
Yeah. I actually, it's where my love of sales came from.
Okay.
Because when you're, and the people I liked helping the most was like old ladies who need something to be comfortable. And like getting them in like a pair of shoes that they felt comfortable in, and helping people and upselling, and like, ooh, I love it.
Oh, it's addicting.
Mm-hmm.
You get the deal.
Yeah, I'm making money. So at 19, I became a manager of a store, a Lady Foot Locker in Portland.
Okay.
Moved out to Portland. I had a boyfriend there at the time, and I thought, this is it. And then things kind of started to go south, and my little brother was a snowboard guy. So he would live in Vail in the winter, then he'd go to Mount Hood, which is near Portland, in the summer, and literally live in a van by the river. Not joking.
Oh,
and snowboard. And he was out there for the summer, and he's like, "We're going to Vail. You should come to Vail," because I wasn't happy in my relationship. Lady Foot Locker thing was kind of drying up, and I was like, I should go to Vail. Why wouldn't I? I'm young.
How old were you at this point?
Almost 20.
Almost 20K.
Yeah. So I moved out to Vail, and I lived there for like 4 years, and I waited tables. I worked at a restaurant called Coyote Cafe, and I worked the opera shift, which is a coveted shift. So you're just serving drinks to people when they get off the mountain. And that's where I learned how to make money.
Oh, I bet. You have to be very personable to be a successful waitress.
Yeah. And it was like early 2000s, and I was making like $1,000 a day, which is like
incredible.
Insane.
That's incredible now.
In like 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Just hustle. My manager at the time, she had worked at Hooters, and she said the Hooters motto is talk the trash, shake your ass, make the cash.
I think that's my new motto.
And so I just was like, and in Vail, which you probably don't know this, but it's 7 men for every 1 girl there.
Okay.
7 boys for every 1 girl. And so I figured out, if I'm a scarcity, I can make more money. So be really nice, be really personable, but just kind of be untouchable. And I made a ton of money. Yeah.
Okay. Well, any waitresses out there, take that advice.
Yeah. Be scarce.
Freaking good advice. So you didn't go to college. You just hustled. You were a hustler. Mm-hmm. And you still are. You hustle it up.
I'm just not afraid to work hard and dig in and get dirty and figure it out.
So at what point did you meet your husband and shift towards the role of motherhood, marriage? How old were you at that point?
Yeah. So after I'd been in Vail for about 4 years, I was like 24, and I was kind of like starting to date a little more seriously.
Yeah.
Or at least like look down the road a little bit. And I wanted to date a Mormon guy. Like I had so I grew up a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And then I had left the church for a little bit, and I had started to come back, and I was like, I want to date like a really nice Mormon guy.
Mormon boy.
Yeah. Like someone who grew up the same as me, has the same values as me, wants to raise their children in the church, believes in Jesus, loves Jesus, has a relationship with God. So I moved to Utah because that's where you go if you want to date Mormon boys.
So you really just like, that was a big reason why you came to Utah.
That was the reason I moved here. Yeah. Because I was like, I want to date Mormon boys, and I still want to snowboard.
And you didn't have any family or friends here?
So I did. I had friends here. I actually moved in with one of my good friends from high school, and started working at her cousin's nut packing plant called Nutty Guys.
Okay.
And just started, like I was still coming back to the church and changing some of my lifestyle. And I enrolled in a semester of college, and I was like, this is not the vibe.
Yeah.
Because I went from like hustle, making money, really just like honing my skills, to like English 101.
You don't get the same gratification.
No.
It's not even.
And then I'm not going to take English 201. Like this is not for me.
No.
So, Christian, my husband, is cousins with my friend from high school. So he started also working at Nutty Guys.
Okay.
And we went to high school together. So the first day he started working there, I was like, oh, I remember
Yeah.
you. We weren't friends. We just knew of each other and worked together for a couple months. He came during like the busy season. And then when he stopped, we started snowboarding together and fell in love.
I love it. Do you still snowboard?
No, my knees are too old.
I never learned how to snowboard,
I don't know how to ski.
but I also haven't skied since I was like 9.
I think we could.
And
I think we could pick it up.
like we live in Utah.
We're smart.
I feel like we should.
Yeah, I feel like we'd enjoy the winters. Well, I don't know how you can enjoy the winter up here.
I know it's hell.
First thing I said to you, are you okay?
No, and I'm not.
There's like still 6 feet of snow in your lawn.
No, and I will not see the grass like fully until this baby comes out. I'm convinced. And I was so nervous about flooding. Like flooding was like the big thing. And so far we've been okay, but there's still 6 feet left to go.
You're going to be okay because you're at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
We live by the river. We're screwed.
Oh, do you have like sandbags around
We're
your
getting
house?
them. We're going to go get them this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
scary.
I'm going to make my kids go and pack them down at the Provo City
As they should.
sandbag packing place.
As they should. So you got married.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you when you got married?
26.
26. That was a solid age to get married here in
Still
Utah.
felt really young, but yes, it was good.
You felt young, even being in Utah?
Yeah, because all my friends from Colorado were like,
What are you doing?
you're getting married?
Yeah.
What? They were shocked.
So how soon after marriage did you want kids?
I always wanted kids. I love kids.
They're cool.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a mom. I think, let's see, we got married in 2004. We had Hattie in 2006. So
Okay.
I got pregnant like a year later.
That was quick. And how was motherhood for you? Because were you working at the time?
No. It was actually a really hard adjustment. I'm pretty selfish.
Yeah.
And I didn't bond with Hattie right away as a baby. And I had really bad postpartum depression that I didn't realize I had. And staying home with a child was like, what do I do?
And I don't think you're selfish, but I think any mom who just likes to have some free time to themselves, whether it's a couple of hours or 30 minutes, with a kid, that's out the window with a newborn. Like you don't really get any me time.
Yeah.
So you feel selfish if you do take anything.
Yeah. And I mean, I grew up in a conservative household, but also like Washington, like I come from a farming community. It's a conservative community up there. And it's traditional roles. And I didn't really gravitate. Like I love kids. I love being a mom, but there was no part of me that wanted to stay home.
Right. You didn't want to cook and clean and be the one making bread and the butter and then teaching them how to read and giving them a bath and just the traditional homemaker mother role.
Right. And I felt there was a lot of guilt and shame wrapped up in that for me.
Yeah.
But we were poor. Chris was in school, and so we didn't have a ton of money. So pretty quickly I was like trying to hustle for money. So I would do like random stuff. Like, I had a couple kids in the neighborhood that I was nannying, like their parents would drop them off. They were Hattie's age and I would just watch the kids. I figured out you could like go to state fairs and stuff and sell stuff. Just like, do you
not need a license for that?
I would just like go and get glow sticks
at
dollar store.
At the dollar store,
and then I would just like, yeah, exactly. I would just, and if you have a baby strapped to your chest, you'll sell them twice as fast.
Oh yeah, girl.
And so I was always hustling for cash.
Yeah.
Always trying to figure out how can I make some cash. And, I went over to one of my friend's house one day and she had all this like stuff out on her table that she was sewing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm making stuff and selling it on this new website called Etsy. And I was like, oh, I can remember looking at her and being like, you're not smarter than me.
Right? Like if you're doing this.
Right. I should be able to figure this out. So I went home and I called my mom and I'm like, okay, so for my next birthday and my next Mother's Day, I want a sewing machine. So she bought me a sewing machine.
And you had never sewed before?
No, I grew up, my mom sewed a lot of my clothes. So I'd been
traditional mother.
Yes. I'd been around her sewing, but we weren't allowed to touch her machine.
Gotcha.
So I just taught myself how to sew.
That's impressive.
And just started sewing stuff and selling it on Etsy.
And what stuff were you sewing?
Literally anything I could come up with. I was like, mostly like, I'd be like, oh, I want a dress for Hattie. I'd make it. Then I'd make 10 more.
Okay. That is so impressive that you just taught yourself how to make dresses and just things that you wanted to make.
You could not get me to sew anything right now.
Like, when was the last time you sewed a moccasin?
I actually hopped into the line a couple of Christmases ago because we were
Yeah.
like restructuring our line.
Yeah.
No one on the line appreciated me sewing. I had to do the job, not the dumbest job, but the job that they teach people how to sew on.
Yeah. Like,
and
stitch this little thing.
yes, exactly. Is sewing the elastic together.
Okay.
And I still managed to mess it up. So 2 years ago I sewed.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was not great.
Okay. So when did freshly picked the moccasins basically become a thing? It was when your son was born, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in 2009.
2009, you'd already been selling things on Etsy.
Yes.
So you kind of understood that realm of selling the products.
Yeah, I'd
online.
been very unsuccessful on Etsy.
Okay.
Like I'd make like a couple, like $20 a week, a couple $100 a week. And, but like for my ambition, I learned how to do, I learned a lot through being really unsuccessful. Right. And I was actually telling some girls today, cause we had my last mastermind, and I was like, go be bad at it now.
Yeah.
Like we've taught you a lot. Now go be bad at it.
Yeah.
And you're going to learn so much. So I learned a ton through being really bad at it.
And because you'd been doing it for like 3 years?
2 years.
2 years at that point. Mm-hmm. So when did the idea of the moccasin?
Just when Gus was born. Like, when you're nesting, you just, you'll do stuff that you would never do any other time. It's like, you're like, oh, a special guest is coming home.
Yeah. Like, oh,
I gotta make it. So I just decided he needed moccasins and I made a pair.
And why moccasins? Because I feel like before Freshly Picked, I had never seen baby moccasins before.
Okay. So this is so wild. Growing up, we thought that we were a quarter Indian.
Okay. You thought. So it's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
It's not been confirmed.
No. So my grandmother told us we were.
Okay. Okay. We trust grandma.
And I think what happened was her mom had an affair.
Okay.
And said that it wasn't consensual.
Okay.
And then that's what happened.
And so you just go from there.
My cousin got his DNA results a couple of years ago. Literally like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
We have no Indian in us at all.
Okay. All right.
But growing up, I thought I was Indian. So, and I grew up in Washington. Yes, I grew up in Washington State. There's a ton of tribes up there. And I was always gravitating towards Native American stuff.
Yeah, the culture.
Yeah. I thought I was Blackfoot Indian. So
it made sense. Like, can this white chick get the hell away from us?
Well, I mean, I have dark hair. I have high cheekbones.
You could pass.
Yes. So I loved moccasins when I was younger. I wore them all the time because I was Blackfoot Indian.
Yeah. Yeah. Did your mom make them?
No, I would always buy Minnetonkas.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm a master of finding Minnetonkas at a thrift store.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay,
yes. Like,
let's go.
I'll take you. But so I just decided that because I was Indian, because I was Blackfoot Indian, I needed to make my son some moccasins.
For his heritage.
Yes.
He needed to know his culture. He needed to know where he came from.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So I made him moccasins.
Get some dream catchers too, just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And also where I grew up, there's this thing called the Pendleton Roundup.
Okay.
And it's for the Pendleton tribe of Native Americans. And we spent high school going there. I love the culture. I think it's the most beautiful culture. I love it. So
everything I know about it is from Yellowstone, the TV show.
Yes.
And I also love it.
But I felt
I feel connected to it. I think I should do my blood.
I felt like I was coming home when I'd go. My grandma did me dirty.
What does it feel like getting a part of you ripped away when your cousin took this blood test? Like, should he have just stayed in the dark?
Well, what happens is there's reportation. So we asked our grandma to sign up because you could have gotten school paid for.
Yeah.
You get like a monthly stipend.
Yeah.
You get like all of these things. She would never do it. She's like, no, you didn't work for that. You don't get it. I worked too damn hard to.
Gotcha.
I was like, Grandma, I just want a fishing license for free. She wouldn't do it. Now we know why.
No, she's like, 'cause I'm a liar, pants on fire.
it was a story she had been told, but I think she doubted it. Like
Yeah.
as she, like as
The
you grew
older
up
she
in
got.
yeah,
It's like,
and you're seeing stuff about your mom and like, so so I made him a pair of moccasins, and I put him on my blog because that's what you did at the time.
yeah.
And my blog too was like pretty unsuccessful.
What was it called?
It's called Freshly Picked.
How'd you come up with that name? Sorry, we're kind of all over the place.
I know,
but
it's fine. Well, are you fine with how all over the place we are?
I'm totally fine with
This
it.
is how you do it.
This is Weekly Trash.
We're trashing it.
We're gonna go back and forth, baby.
So when I first started Etsy, I was a really early adopter, but you had to pick a name.
Yeah.
And I would stay up late. And that was like the only time, when you first have a kid, you stay up till 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's your free
knowing
time.
you have to get up at 6
Yeah.
a.m.
You're like, I'm gonna hate myself tomorrow,
myself.
but mama needs some time to
Yes.
just like not be a mama.
Yes. So one night I was like, hey, I'm going to open my Etsy shop tonight, no matter what. Because I had kind of been scared to do it.
Yeah.
And I had this name. I was going to call it. I had like this revelation. It was called Prickly Pear because I was Indian.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was like, where's the Indian coming? I'm waiting for it. Where is it?
And it was taken.
Really?
Someone else had thought of
Prickly
that
Pear.
beautiful name before me.
Is it still a company?
I don't
Like,
know.
do they
I've
have anything?
never
I kind of want to
once-
look into
I
it.
feel like I dodged a bullet.
Prickly Pear.
Yeah, I dodged a bullet on
Let's
Etsy.
see.
So I just started looking like around my kitchen,
Okay.
like
What names?
any inspiration, and I was like, freshly picked.
Okay. It just like,
It's
it
stuck.
kind of has the same vibe as Prickly Pear.
Thank you.
It's just better.
Yeah, and people are always like, "What should I name my company? What should I?" It doesn't matter.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it. Sometimes you have revelations.
Like Prickly
Sometimes
Pear.
you don't. Sometimes your ancestors come down and help you pick this name. and
Exactly.
sometimes it doesn't happen
Yes,
like that.
exactly.
So you made the moccasins.
Uh-huh.
You name it Freshly Picked.
Yeah.
You post it on your blog.
It was freshly picked before the moccasins.
right.
Yeah.
Because that was your blog.
Yeah. Freshly picked was my blog. Freshly picked was my Etsy shop. It was all, I was doing
Freshly
it all.
picked.
Yeah.
Freshly Picked LLC. Then you have the moccasins
Mm-hmm.
and you start selling them on Etsy.
Well, I put them on my blog because I was putting all my nesting things on my blog.
Right.
So, you get more content when you're doing baby stuff.
Yeah,
Or
mommy blogging.
more people interaction,
More engagement for sure.
And
Because it's relatable content.
yes, and never in my time of having a blog had anyone ever said they would buy something I had just made.
Like, so this is good.
And like 2.5 people said they would buy it,
2.5.
or 3.
Okay.
And I was like, this is it.
I've made it.
This is the thing.
This is gonna get
Literally
me
though,
somewhere.
I had told, like, because I started Etsy, like I was an early adopter.
Yeah.
I had seen some of my friends kind of like figure out which product stuck and then make a business out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think if I found that product, I could really make a business out of it. And I told my husband like a couple of years before and never found the product
Right.
and wasn't even planning on selling the moccasins. But
3 people were interested.
yeah,
So
it feels like the tip of an iceberg.
Yeah.
If there's 3, there's probably 10 that couldn't even.
a
that didn't
hustler's
even
gonna
say it.
hustle. It's
Yes.
time to go.
It's time to go.
Pull out the sewing machine.
So-
Where's my leather? Let's
Exactly.
go.
Exactly. So I just made 20, put them in the shop. They sold out in like an hour.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this is it.
And when you first started, were you doing one single print? Were you doing different kinds of prints? Because
Yeah.
now, you could get anything. Freshly picked moccasins. You want cheetah? Get some cheetah. You want
Yeah.
sparkles? What was the vibe when you first started?
So the
Was
summer.
it Indian themed?
Yeah,
Or no?
exactly. Beads. So
Yeah.
the summer before, I had been at a yard sale and this lady had like a big yard bag full of leather.
Okay.
And my mom and I were at the yard sale. She was visiting me. And she was like, I was like, I'll take the bag of leather for $1. And it was like the end of the yard sale. And she's like, fine. I'm like, I know. I go,
Damn.
I know you don't want to haul that to the DI.
Yeah.
And she's like, fine. So I had a bag of leather that I was working from.
Okay.
So I didn't even know how to buy leather.
Yeah.
So-
What's good leather?
Yeah. So I would just pull out pieces
Yeah.
and they were scrap. Like someone I think she had been an upholsterer.
Okay. Yeah.
And so when I ran out of that leather, I was like Googling, like, where do you buy leather?
Right.
So I go into the leather store. There's one up in Salt Lake called Tandy's Leather.
Andy's Leather, shout out.
Shout out. Cher, who works there. She's the
Cher,
best.
shout
yes.
out.
And I thought a leather shop worked like a fabric shop. So
Does it not?
No, so I thought you took it to the cutting counter
Yeah,
and got like a yard.
Can I get a yard, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I took all these hides up to the cutting counter. And by the way, that it's heavy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want quarter yard of that. And I tell her what I want. And she's like, that's not how it works here.
Okay.
She's like, you have to buy the whole cow. And I'm like, what? And so she like shakes it out. And it's like literally like you see legs, stomach, neck, tail.
And is all of that usable for you?
Yeah, most of it.
moccasins?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, how much is a cow? And she's like $200. And I was like, I know I should be smarter, but I'm spending my money as it's coming in. I don't have $200.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and in your head, you're probably like, how many moccasins can I make with this?
You can make
like
about 40 pairs.
Okay. You're like, I need to do the margins here. I need to figure it out.
But I didn't have the money. So I went home and I'm like, crap, I need to make $200, but people only want to buy moccasins from me. Like, how quickly can I come up with this? Because we were, Chris was in school. We were tight. We were real tight. So my brother had window installation business at the time.
Okay.
So I convinced him to give me all his old windows. And they come in aluminum frames. And so I just banged the glass out of the windows for one summer and then took it to the scrapyard and got $200.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing? You can
yeah.
do that?
Yes. And then like while I'd be out on my walks with Hattie, I'd be
picking up cans?
Yes. I'd be fighting the homeless people for the cans because I'm like, I got to make $200.
Susan, I love you so much.
and then we got $200, got my cow.
Yeah.
And I learned, okay, you got to hold on to the money you make so you can invest it.
Yeah. Put it back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So when did it start making like money where you're like, oh, wow, like this is lucrative. Like I'm really doing a great job.
Well, it felt lucrative. So we moved off of Etsy pretty soon thereafter.
Yeah.
Moved on to Big Cartel for a little bit and then Shopify.
Because it was just you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris wasn't helping at all.
No.
It was just you.
Chris helped me for a little bit. He's my first fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't work good together.
You're like, I only need space.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, we don't collaborate like that very well. So when we moved off of Shopify, or onto Shopify, sorry, I was like, how do you market? Like trying to figure out like, where does marketing come from? And then everyone you talk to is like, get on Facebook. Cause this was like 2013, 2014.
The prime of Facebook.
Yeah. Well, it was before the algorithm.
Oh yeah.
So everything was like chronological and the businesses you liked, you'd see their stuff.
Yep.
Same thing with Instagram before they ruined it.
I know.
And TikTok, honestly. So I was like, but I don't think everyone my age was migrating off Facebook.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know that this doesn't feel right to me. And I remember I was over at my friend's house one day and she was breastfeeding her baby and she was showing me something on Instagram like this. And at the time, Instagram was the only social media platform that had a one finger scroll.
Yeah.
So you could hold it and do that with your thumb. Everything else required two fingers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, moms are going to be on Instagram. It just like hit me.
Yeah.
And so I started just putting everything into Instagram and built like a really solid community there. It took me like a year, but I got like 30,000 followers, which at the time was like huge.
That's still huge for me.
And everything was chronological. So people saw all my posts and started to make pretty good money.
And how soon after that did an opportunity for you to come on Shark Tank happen?
So there was kind of three things that happened kind of in a row that like built on each other. I built a lot of momentum. So the fashion editor from Parenting Magazine reached out and she was like, hey, I followed your blog forever, like back in the day.
You're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then she like followed me to Instagram, bought stuff. And she's like, I've really wanted to feature in the magazine. Cause at the time magazines were like
huge. Yeah.
And I've been waiting for the right celebrity to pair you with. I think it's Kourtney Kardashian. She's coming in for a photo shoot. Will you please send shoes for Mason? And I was like, yeah, you can buy them on my website.
You said that?
I didn't know how gifting worked.
Oh,
I had no idea.
badass.
I had no idea. And she walked me through the process.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But I had to call like 4 or 5 people and be like, does this seem like a good deal?
Okay, did you not know who Kourtney Kardashian was?
I did, but I didn't understand giving product away
Okay.
for reciprocity.
Content and to,
Yes.
Okay.
And that was my first thing. And then that changed my life, obviously.
Yeah.
So sent them out.
You're like, oh, okay, fine.
I know. She's like, I promise I'll send it back to you, Susan. I'm like, okay.
Shut
like,
up.
She was so kind to walk me through it.
Oh my
like
gosh,
the
seriously.
nicest. So then, and then after the photo shoot, she emailed me and was like, oh, she wanted to keep a few pairs. So I hope you don't mind that I let her keep a few pairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, yeah, that's cool.
You're like, Venmo me.
I know. And then she actually sent me back the ones that Kourtney didn't keep.
Oh my, do you have them framed?
No, I mean, I sold them.
Hustlers gotta hustle.
Hustlers gotta hustle.
Okay.
Plus, I'm not sentimental. I wish
Okay.
I was. I'm just not.
Like-
And then almost immediately, Kourtney started getting photographed.
Right.
In our, like, Mason started getting photographed.
Paparazzis.
Yeah. And they were like, you remember when Kourtney was in New York with Scott? Like, the whole
all
thing.
that, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is why.
This is the money.
Yes. And then the issue came out, and we were on the cover, and we were in like the whole 5-page spread. Like every photo was, he was
gosh.
wearing our moccasins, and it was just like the nicest, like the fact that she went out of her way to be thoughtful about who she should pair me with. The
Yeah.
fact that she went out of her way to walk me through gifting,
Seriously.
and then to send, like, I will always love her. She's amazing.
What's her name?
Laura.
Laura, we love you.
Love her. So then, immediately, like Us Weekly, People, those magazines started picking it up.
Yeah.
And it was all organic. We didn't pay for any
That's
features
incredible.
at all. And that year I was like, I made, really good money at the end of that year. And then kind of at the same time, we got 30,000 followers and everything was happening. And I had hired, the year before, I'd like hired a seamstress, and then we were like transferring to manufacturing, but we weren't
Yeah.
quite there yet.
You obviously weren't doing this from your house anymore.
Yeah.
You were?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But
how many moccasins were you making a day?
I wasn't making them anymore.
Okay.
Angie,
Shout
my
out
seamstress,
to
Angie was doing it. And then my sister-in-law, Jody, was shipping them all.
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah. And I was just doing the operations and
Gotcha.
biz dev and, marketing.
Yeah.
So, we had it. I was like, we should have a sale. Why not? It's May. Let's do a sale on our mocks. Let's do 25% off. And never done a sale before, like not even during Christmas.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. You're trying to make that money. You're not even gifting it to Kourtney Kardashian.
No. So then we had a sell, and I sold 2,000 pairs in like a couple hours. We sold 2,000 pairs of moccasins that we did not have raw materials for and that were not made.
Oh,
And I was so overwhelmed.
I bet.
Um,
It's like exciting, but also
No.
shit.
no, there was no excitement.
You were just stressed.
Dread.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And I called my friend Noelle, who's still my friend to this day.
Shout out Noelle.
Yeah, she's a baddie. And sobbing in tears.
Like, what did I do?
Exactly.
What did I do?
And she just set me straight. She was like, oh, boo-hoo. It is so hard to be successful, Susan. And I'm like, what?
I love her.
And she's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, okay. Because I hadn't even thought,
Yeah.
what am I
You're
going
like,
to
what
do?
am I going to do?
I just felt sorry for
I'm
myself.
going to go buy a couple cows.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I think I'm going to give everyone their money back. I know Josie's like, no. And I was like, get my crap together and then do it again in like a month. And she's like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not, Susan.
Because I was afraid to disappoint people.
Yeah.
And she's like, you are going to go to bed and you're going to get up tomorrow. And you're going to put on your big girl panties. You're going to figure this out.
Yeah, you are.
So she didn't even tell me what to do. She
Yeah.
just was like, I believe in you. You can do this.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
You're Susan Peterson.
Yes. So
You're stealing cans from homeless people.
Exactly.
You got this out. You're going to figure this out.
I'll figure it out. So I did. I mean, I got up the next morning and I had like this inspiration overnight where I was like, make it the community, make them part of it.
Yeah.
Like make your customers part of the journey. And so I did. I was like, you guys, we're cutting off the cell.
You're immediately.
It's done. I can't believe this. Like, really, I just started this a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still working out of my house.
Yeah.
Because we made like 120K in like that whole day, which was more money than I'd ever seen in my lifetime.
Wow.
At the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Now you're
seemed
like
a ton
multimillionaire.
more.
But, like,
and
but that was huge. That's huge.
Huge.
That's huge.
And I was like, we're gonna get all these out. It's gonna take us a while.
Yeah.
And people were just so supportive. They loved it. And we got them all out in like a month, and people were amazing.
Oh,
And
I'm
it changed
sure.
my business. So at the time, you know, when things feel special, it felt special.
Yeah.
We did a video about it and sent it into Shark Tank. And then they invited us to come out. They invited me to come out and be on the show.
And how was that experience? Because you made a deal with Damon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how much of that was like produced and how much of it was real? Did Damon really help? Are you still working with Damon in any way? Like, tell me all the things.
So we never closed the deal.
You never closed the deal.
No.
Okay.
I made a deal on the show, and then post show it kind of fell apart.
Gotcha.
Damon's great. I think he's incredible.
Yeah.
I love Shark Tank. I thought it was an amazing experience. I learned so much about myself. Reality shows are wild, but it was just really fun, and it was transformative for my business.
Yeah, I'm sure.
From
the
an exposure point of view. Yeah.
So how soon after all this, if not during this, were you making millions?
I think the next year we made our first couple million.
And what was that feeling?
It's stressful.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I'm very detached from money.
Yeah.
I love making money. It's fun for me. It's a game for me. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
But I'm not very emotionally attached to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because how you were raised or just your personality?
No, I'm just not sentimental. And but being a young entrepreneur and not going to school for it and kind of feeling like I had to prove myself, I did let the money mean something for me for a long time.
Yeah.
And now
it's just kind of there.
I'm just more interested in building really cool things now.
And you're good at it.
I love to, and it has to have like an economic outcome for everyone involved.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So let's talk about the little hiccup that happened within your business.
Yes.
Because every business needs a hiccup. There needs to be some drama. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is you either go to business school.
Yeah.
Or you pay to learn how to do business.
Yeah.
And it costs about the same.
Yeah. You got to make some mistakes here and there.
Yes.
So at some point you're everything's going great. You're making millions. You're building houses. You're living the life. And all of a sudden you find out you got a little screwed up the butt.
Yeah. Okay. So let's back up just a tiny bit.
Okay. Let's set
the stage. So, I had brought on private equity investors.
Okay.
And so what that means is the entrepreneur de-risks themselves from the business. So if you're building a business, you own 100%, you're responsible for all the loans, like you're responsible for all of the assets,
right,
all of the depreciation, like it's all you. But when you bring on an investor, what they do is they put some cash on the balance sheet and then they buy you out of the business a little bit. So then all of a sudden, Chris and I had cash.
Yeah.
So they bought 60% of my business.
Okay.
And it was incredible. They're incredible investors.
Yeah.
Like, I became a millionaire.
Yeah.
It was no one in my family on both sides. Like, I was the first millionaire in my family.
Yeah.
And it just felt so good to be able to like pay off my house.
Yeah.
Pay off our cars, have money in the bank, interest growing. Like, it just felt really good.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so we had decided to build what we thought at the time was our dream home.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
It was a parade home, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Parade of Homes, which I would never do again.
Yeah. The only nice thing is you get like a guaranteed deadline.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And you get top priority with builders and designers and
all the things.
Subs, and everyone is doing a perfect job because
everyone's going to walk through it.
But it was always a little disconcerting when people be like, I saw your bedroom. And I'm like, ugh.
No, that's what freaks me out about it. Like, I wouldn't want people knowing where my kids sleep.
Yeah. That was
that's
a little.
why I don't think I would ever do it.
And
I'm not saying like I wouldn't, like, if somebody wants to build me one, sure.
We got that house done in 9 months.
Which is unheard of.
Unheard of. So, it's give and take.
Yeah.
But we're building this beautiful house. Loved my builder, loved the designers. And I would go over because I'm fascinated by the building process.
Yeah.
Like, it is just so fun to watch buildings come together.
Yeah, from the ground up.
Yeah.
From the bottom.
Yes. And like the structural engineering is really cool. And then to watch tradesmen who are really good at their job do their job is really cool.
Yeah.
So I'd go over there almost every day. And I would, like, my builder was always like, you're the only person that just wants to come here and like watch.
Not complain,
Yes.
just watch.
Yes. He's like, you're not trying to manage me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what do I know about building?
Yeah.
I have
I'm
no
no
idea.
expert.
But I love it. And I'm a builder, so it's just inspiring for me. So I would go over there and, I get a call while I'm over there, and I can remember they were framing out the basement. I was watching them down in the hole.
You're like, oh, wow.
And from one of my board members, and he's like, this is the worst call I've ever had to make, but this guy that's been working in your business for the last like 3 years has been stealing, or for 4 years has been stealing from you. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, at the time I'm like, oh, okay. Like what? Like
does
a couple
this mean?
$100?
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about here?
And he's like, no, like lots of money. And the amount that he said and the amount that it ended up being, he thought it was like a quarter of what it actually was.
Oh my gosh.
And, he had been helping with our finances. So I had given him access to our personal account, and he had stolen like our personal money too. And so all of a sudden, my tax money was gone.
Oh no.
And gone in the fact that like he had a gambling addiction, and so it was just gone.
Yeah, there's no getting it back. So
No.
like he has it still.
Well, I mean, the addiction or the money?
No, the money.
Well, I mean, it's all gone.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
gone,
he spent it.
Yeah. It's not like he can get it back.
No. And I can remember being like, okay, I can figure this out. But then when like balancing all the accounts, it's like, okay, so I signed up for a parade home. So the money that is coming out for my parade home is going really quickly.
Yeah.
And so I can't pay all of my tax. So it just ended up being like a huge mess.
I can imagine it being a
Like
very
personally
huge mess.
for us. But then in the business, because he'd also stolen business money, we like our accounts were drawn out to the negative, and we had payroll due. But like our everything was gone.
Yeah. And you have investors. You had the people.
Yes.
So you're like, oh my gosh.
Right. So first call, I called the investors, because guess what? Any bad news, I'm going to give it to you right away.
Which is honorable.
Well, I mean, did you see that TikTok where a girl ran her dad's brand new Tesla into a Starbucks? Like literally ran it through the front window of a Starbucks.
Okay, I feel like Teslas, you should be smarter than that.
She's like 16.
There's a building in front of you, brakes.
Yeah. That's how I felt.
Okay.
Like I was calling my dad.
Hey,
Hey, you know that Starbucks you bought me and that car you gave me?
I screwed up. We have a situation.
And then on top of it is just like the betrayal trauma. And then so I'm solving all these problems at work, solving all these personal problems. Like
it's
just
a lot.
Constantly solving problems for like the next 2.5 years.
I mean, your mental health probably had to have struggled.
Not
or
at
were
the
you
time.
in like fight and
Yeah,
flight?
100%. Yeah, like no. Like I could get more done in those 2 years than I could ever get done right now.
You probably didn't. Probably didn't even think about yourself. It was just like I survival mode.
No. I did a number on all of my bodily systems.
So how did you figure it out?
It was really just like one problem at a time.
Just figuring out every little thing.
Yeah.
As not quickly, but kind of.
Well, I mean, it was like you'd solve this problem, you'd get it all done, and then you'd take a breath, and then another problem would crop up, and then you solve that problem, and then like personal problem and so then I'd solve that problem, and it was just like constant, and I didn't even have time to breathe.
Yeah, it's giving me anxiety just thinking about it.
I could have, like, when my investors came out, because they flew out that day.
Yeah,
like they were there that evening, like they were like on top of it, the nicest, and they were like, "You can quit. Do you want to be done?" Like, we don't have to keep doing this. You can shut it down, walk away, be done. And just someone giving you that option, I was like, no, I got this.
Like hearing that out loud, you're like, no.
And plus I was like, I don't actually, now I have more financial commitments personally. I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So, I decided to keep going. And then another question I've gotten a lot is like, why didn't you just declare bankruptcy? Well, I eventually want to like make all my investors' money back for them.
Right.
And I want to have a good outcome for everyone involved. And if you declare bankruptcy, you then can't, if you declare bankruptcy personally, you can't then sell your business.
Right.
Like you just,
it's illegal.
It's illegal. You can't do it. So I had to keep things afloat for the economic outcome. I had a fiduciary duty to my investors that I felt really responsible for. And they would say, Susan, they didn't put that pressure on me at all.
Yeah.
Like they were totally cool with me walking away and them losing the money. Like they would have been totally cool with it. But I felt like, I mean, I can't even owe someone like $10. Right. It weighs heavily on me.
Like,
so I felt like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And I did.
You did. And how long ago was that?
2017, 2018.
Okay. So since then, you are now the chairwoman.
Yeah. So in January of this year, I stepped back from running the day-to-day.
So yeah, what does that mean to go from founder to chairwoman? You're less time at the office.
So I went from CEO to chairwoman. So when you're CEO, you're just running the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Vision, structure, strategy, everything. And now I am totally out of the day-to-day. I have no idea what's going on there. I get bi-weekly updates from the current CEO because I'm the chairwoman of the board.
Yeah.
And so he sends out twice monthly updates and just give him 2 thumbs up. Good job.
What made you pivot to that?
A couple of reasons. Some of them I can't talk about yet, but
that's fine.
Mostly just it was well, again, like backing up a little bit. So in the fall of 2021, I had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was like kind of the last couple of things we tied up from the fraud. It really took that long to tie everything up. Like,
I believe it.
Like it was. And so when the fraud happened, we had to put in what's called a bridge loan back into the business. So again, like the money that we had finally gotten, we had to put a certain amount back in and the investors had to put some money into it. And in fall of 2021, we were able to pay back the bridge loan, which was just like this huge sigh of relief.
Oh, I bet.
Because finally it's like, okay, I have some money.
Breathe.
Again. Yeah. And then I think my body was like, you did it and we're shutting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for you to now go sleep forever.
Yeah. So it was scary. I felt like I lost touch with reality for a while.
Yeah.
My husband was like, can you please talk to your doctor about getting on medicine? But when you're not really thinking, it's so hard to even consider getting on medication because you hear horror stories, right? And then at crisis level, getting on medication is really scary. Like you kind of need round the clock care and watching.
Yeah, you don't know what could happen.
Yeah. And I've never have been, but I got suicidal and it was scary. It was like a really scary time of my life.
And this was just 2021.
Yeah.
And so you went on the meds.
Yeah.
Because we kind of talked about this on the episode that we did on your podcast.
Yeah. And then I started like really taking care of my health. Like went to a functional medical doctor and he helped me with my diet and with my supplements. And it took me like a year to feel normal again.
Wow.
Yeah.
But here you are.
Here I am.
Here you are.
Back at full capacity.
Chairwoman.
We
love it.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to entrepreneurs that are starting? I'm sure this is a question you get so often, but let us know.
Be bad at it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I mean, when I started, I'm sure you felt this way when you started your podcast.
Still do.
And like, you're getting better, but it's, especially if you're working at a level in anything where you're good at it, it's hard to be a beginner again.
Yeah.
And just like get curious around why you're bad at it and then optimize it so that you can get better at it pretty quickly.
I love that. That's great advice. What future goals do you have for yourself? You have your podcast now. Started from the bottom.
Yeah.
You also have like a studio space.
Yeah, we have a studio.
So what are the goals here? What is Susan Peterson gonna do in the next year or two that we're all gonna be like, damn, she's such a badass. She did it again.
I never want to be the face of another brand.
Okay.
So right now I am working with a brand and I am so far behind the scenes you would never see me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like so curious. I want to ask you off pod.
You can. It's called the Good News brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good News brand.
It's a faith-based brand. It's started by Emily Bell Freeman and David Butler and Rio Grange.
Awesome.
And they just kind of combined all their brands together. And I'm doing operations.
Okay.
And I love it. Like I love optimizing. I love building.
Yeah.
I love forecasting. I love vision work. I love product development. I love product roadmap. I don't care to be
The face of it.
No.
So what's the product?
So
give us the juice.
it is it's relevant faith for your home, for your life, for your family. Yeah. So Emily and Dave have done a podcast forever called Don't Miss This. And in preparation for getting called to be the general young women's president in our church, although I had no idea that was happening and no one else that was working on the brand knew, she knew.
Oh, okay.
She had to kind of figure out how to extract herself from all her projects that she's working on so that she could go and serve in the church. And at that level, you can't be doing. So she had to draw some very clear lines. And so for a while I was like, Emily, I don't know if you need me. I don't know if you need my help, blah, blah, blah. And then when she got called, I was like, oh, that's what we're doing here. I see.
Okay.
But we have study books, we have home products. Mostly what we're trying to do is offer communities that are an easy way to digest General Conference. Because you sit there and it's almost like I can't do 6 Thanksgiving dinners in a row.
For those who might be lost, General Conference.
Yes.
It's for the Mormons, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And it's a 2-day thing, kind of. Because
every 6 months.
You have the priesthood, and then you have the women.
No, they took that away. Yeah, it's all.
Can you tell how active I am in the church right now, Susan?
I love it. No, it's a family session now. It's only an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
So they have 2 sessions on Saturday, 2 sessions on Friday or Sunday. And it's just a way for our leaders to give relevant faith
to everybody,
to everyone
all at once.
And it's meant to be inspiring. Yeah. And ways that you can integrate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear talks from people from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great thing. You have the beautiful music. We have the Tabernacle Choir.
We could have some better music in our church.
We could have some more like uplift. Like,
I want more like revival style. No, don't. No. I want more upbeat. I want more revival. I want more.
Kind of sounds like a haunted house.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
I mean, our world-renowned choir that gets paid to go sing at random places or invited to.
I actually was in. They did like a long time ago. They had the Tabernacle Choir be replaced with youth and the parents of the youth, and so me and my mom got to be in the choir for one of the conferences.
Yeah,
we had to wear the ugliest outfit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool experience getting to sing up there and do the whole
and kind of see like behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I love it, although I can never absorb all the information they give out. So I'm always trying to study it after the fact. And so that's what the communities that we have are built around, is like how to study General Conference for the next 6 months.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would have had no idea that you were involved in that.
Yeah, I just been doing it for a while and I'm way, way behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you love it.
Yeah. And it's like a small time commitment for me.
It's fun. And then you have the podcast, Started from the Bottom.
Started from the Bottom.
And you're like going to hit 100 episodes.
Probably by the time you have your baby. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Today was 82.
That's crazy. You're my 50th episode.
Okay,
this
let's
is the
celebrate.
50th episode
Shout
of
out.
Weekly Trash.
That means we're good luck.
No, seriously.
I love your tattoo.
Oh, thanks. Which one? I have 2. I have the J's.
Oh,
Jim, Janice, and Julia.
cute.
My mom, my dad, my sister.
Cute.
And then my little butterfly.
I like the butterfly. It's cute.
Thanks. It has 2 B's in it for Bentley and Brooks. which I'm like, I'm about to have another baby
You're so
with a
sentimental.
bee. I am.
I love
am
that. I wish I
sentimental.
was. I'm not.
I am. It's a good thing and a bad thing because I feel like some things I hoard. I'm like, why do I keep this?
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
This can go in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have these like moments where I'm like, I need to get rid of everything.
Yeah.
And then I throw it away. And as I'm like throwing it away, there's like this little teeny bit of me that's like, no, you want to keep this. This is the first pencil your daughter ever colored with. Like, you need to keep this.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, you're right. And it's like this battle of like, do I throw it away? Do I not? So it's good and it's bad.
What bee are you going to add?
I don't know. I need to ask my tattoo artist what she thinks. If we should
should do a little flower.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
I've seen the people do like the bouquets of their kids' birth flowers.
Oh, love
Have you
that.
seen those? Those
So
are
cute.
beautiful. I also don't know if I want to ever put a tattoo on this side of my body because all my tattoos are on the right side of my body.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to keep all my tattoos on the right side.
Okay.
But is that weird?
No, I mean, whatever works for you.
Because I have one on my ribs too. That one's really ugly though. That was like I was 18. And
Are the ribs a new tramp stamp?
Honestly, probably. And
Okay.
also the most painful tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Because like an actual tramp stamp is like one of the not as painful places.
Okay.
A ribs, so painful. And mine took like an hour and a half. It was like a
Wow.
90-minute pain thing. Not fun.
Good on you.
And it was like a YOLO decision. Like, let's just like, I literally didn't have it. I didn't even know what I wanted. I just told the guy, like, do a flower or something. Like, I'm so badass. I don't care. Like, like, I don't have any like issue with you just permanently putting whatever you want on my body. So questionable if my daughter
it a
ever does
flower?
that. It's a kind of.
Or something.
It looks like a mix of a flower and a steering wheel
Okay.
on like a pirate ship with a little bit of turquoise. It's interesting.
Wow.
It's interesting. I'll show you when
I'm
this
proud
is
of
over.
you.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. But okay, dumpster deep dive. Do you feel like you've given the people a good insight on Susan Peterson?
I think so.
Because I feel like you did.
Okay.
I mean, we can keep going. I would love to keep talking about
Whatever
you
you
though.
want to talk about.
I have one last question about you.
Okay.
Please, 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 please tell me how you manage to be the best hype woman for other women and like never have a sense of jealousy or like you truly are one of those people that really supports other women. The first time I met you, do you even know?
You came to my office, right?
No.
Oh, I don't know then.
It was at the Mix Hers event at the pool.
Okay.
And Demi had invited me to come with her.
Okay.
And I was so nervous because I'm not an influencer and it was like this influencer thing. And I had walked in and you were there and it's almost like you looked at me like, should I know this person? Because she's with Demi, I'm not quite sure. And the first thing you did is you gave me a hug. And it was like the hug that I needed from like a motherly sister figure because I was so nervous. And I didn't know who you were. I was like, do you own Mixers? Because I truly was like so confused.
Yeah.
And you were like so chill. And like, I think you were wearing like sweatpants. Like everyone else is all done up for these events.
Yeah,
and
no,
you're
I
just
was
like,
wearing t-shirt and
t-shirt, chill.
yeah.
And you were just so welcoming and kind. And I felt comfortable. I felt so comfortable. And then after talking to you more, and then I met you the following day at your office because I had told you that I was going to go to your lunch thing with Sarah.
Yes.
But she was sick and didn't know if she could come. And you're like, no, you should still come.
Yeah.
And I brought Kate.
Yeah.
And watching you with all the women there and just like supporting these smaller influencers or people who are building brands and companies and just giving them this outlet to talk to other people that are building and then constantly being a hype girl for me. Like you came to my weekly trash party. You constantly are just hyping people up and making people know that they can shoot for their dreams and go for it. How do you stay so uplifting?
It's just so much easier
Yeah.
to support people. And it's more fun.
Yeah.
It's just so fun to support people.
Have you ever in your career ever had a sense of jealousy or
Sure.
oh, I wish I was at their level?
Yeah, and I don't like the outcome and I don't like who I am. I'm a very abundant person.
Yeah.
And when I get jealous, I work out of scarcity. It's like, why does she get that? Why does she have that?
Yeah.
And then you're also comparing yourself to other people, which why?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? I I just think anyone can do anything. I really believe that. I think I can do anything. I think anyone can do anything. And encouragement is free. And it goes so far with people.
Yeah, it does.
Like the people, Noelle, who encouraged me, who just said, you're going to figure it out. Like this is my solution for you. Like that, it changed my life.
Yeah.
And any other woman who's encouraged me, it changed my life. So for me not to give that encouragement, it's like the women who gave it to me, it'd be like spitting in their face a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to take that. I'm going to hoard it for myself. And like passing it on costs you nothing. In fact, it just makes your life better and richer. And I love supporting people when they're first starting out, because it's just like, you think I'm doing it wrong. Everyone hates me. I can't figure this out. Like
you're in your head a lot.
We've all been there. And for someone just to see you and say, oh my gosh, good job. It's so easy, but it just, I know it means so much because I've been there.
Yeah.
And every new thing I start, anyone that encourages me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Even with the podcast, you've been so supportive with my podcast.
Well, you inspire me to be so supportive of everybody. Like truly, like I've never met somebody just so like, yes, go for it.
Well, and it's a way to get rid of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
If you're feeling imposter syndrome, go support someone and you won't feel like you don't know what you're doing anymore.
No, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. So yeah, that was my question for you, because I admire it so much.
Oh, you're so nice.
And I hope to be more like you in that sense. And I hope as I grow, I can bring people up with me, because I feel like you do a really good job of that as well, as bringing people with you and like helping other people at the same time. So
yeah, I just think there's so many cool people doing so many cool things.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so cool.
Well, I love that. And I love you.
I love you.
Thanks for letting me dumpster deep dive into you, because everyone wanted to know. So now they know.
Was that the question everyone was asking?
That was the question I was mostly just asking. But so many people were asking me, like, has she ever felt like she was jealous of other, because you do put off this just like, I love support everybody.
Well, I'm human.
Yeah.
And it's usually when you feel bad about it. Like during the fraud, I was not a fun, supportive person.
Yeah.
I did not have the energy to do it.
Right.
When I was first starting, I couldn't figure out how I was even there, let alone like making room for other people.
Yeah.
But
because you get to the point where you're like, I'm doing good, but if someone else does good too, they're going to take away what I'm doing.
Yeah. There's definitely a feeling of that. And when you're at crisis level, if you could just support yourself, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
If you could just look yourself in the mirror and be like, girl, you got this.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of years ago, I was at girls camp, for those who don't know.
I'm like, for all the non-LDS listeners.
I grew up outside of Utah, so we're good.
Yeah.
It's a camp during the summer that all the young women 12 to 18 go through. It is honestly, I love girls. Did you like girls camp?
I loved girls camp.
Girls camp is it.
When we had testimony meeting, which is where you tell everybody how much you love the church and
Jesus
and all the things. That was my time to shine, baby.
Oh, I bet you were so good at it.
Oh, I had people tearing up everywhere. Like I was like, this is my stage, everybody. Because I was the girl at girls camp that had a dad that wasn't Mormon. So I was the only one who didn't have like the internal family that they, talk about and like priesthood blessings that like the men in the church give. And so everyone was always so intrigued by what I would say.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would go up there and I would give a show and they'd be like, oh, she's so inspiring. And it was and then the braiding of the hair, making the bracelets.
So at girls camp a couple of years ago, we had leaders dropping off. I was camp leader.
Yeah.
We had leaders dropping off
I bet
like
you're
flies.
the funnest camp
We
leader.
ended up with like 4 leaders for like 25 girls.
Oh,
which if you're listening, that's not enough. That is not enough. And one of the girls all week we were like, girl, you're doing a good job. And sometimes I still tell you that to myself when things are getting rough. I'm like, girl, you're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job.
And if you can just tell yourself that before you can tell other people, like if that's all you can do, do that.
Words of affirmation. Look yourself in the mirror. You are doing a good job.
Exactly.
I love it.
When things start burning down, just girl, you're doing a good job.
We all need that.
Yes,
we all need that.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. All right. Well, are you ready to take out trash?
Let's do it.
Okay. Today's trash is sponsored by Babe Original.
Babe Lash.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Is that how your eyelashes got so long?
Yeah, should I be that fake person that's like, guys, these are real. I put Babe Lash on every morning. And they just
for like 6 weeks and look at them.
Look at this. It's crazy.
I love Babe Lash.
No, everyone who uses it loves it. I only use it when I have picking episodes and I need to like make sure my lash artist has something to put lashes on. But my big thing with them is their lip mask. Have you tried it?
No.
I think I have an extra one upstairs I haven't opened. I'll give you it too.
Okay.
It's unreal. Have you ever tried Laneige?
Yeah.
It's the same thing but better and cheaper.
Okay. So
like not that money's a problem for you, but like for me, like that's a great thing.
I like to save money.
You're a hustler, so like saving's good too.
Yeah. Fun,
And-
cheaper, free.
Right?
Way good.
Right? I saw how you got into Taylor Swift. We'll talk about it. You love cheap deals. And so anyways, I love Babe Original. I love their lip mask. I love their brow amplifier, which is huge. But yeah, they're known for their little lashers. So if you want some Babe Original, try some of their products. Use Weekly Trash 15 for 15% off your order at babeoriginal.com. And just know I love you and you're supporting Weekly Trash.
Love it.
What's your personal trash for the week, Susan? Last week?
Let me think.
What have you done?
Happened this week? I always have to look at my calendar. Oh my gosh.
You just had your mastermind.
Just had my mastermind. It was amazing. I can't even articulate that yet. But I've been getting ready to go out of town.
Yes.
I'm going to Italy.
I'm so jealous.
And so
for like 2 weeks.
Yes. So the last 2 weeks I have recorded 11 episodes of my podcast. That's a lot.
That is so many,
I'm
Susan.
dead.
Like my brain would be so fried.
People
So
don't
fried. understand.
It takes so much out of you.
It takes so much out of you, especially when it's an interview style
Mm-hmm.
and you're keeping the conversation going and you're trying to stay on topic,
Mm-hmm.
which can be difficult for me sometimes. I like to go all over the place.
And what people don't see is you're having to manage, okay, they said that. Now I want to ask about that. And then
Yes.
I got to keep this going this way. And you got to keep
Yes.
the energy. Like it is a lot of work.
It is a lot. It is a
Yeah.
lot. So when do are those episodes going to come out after Italy? Like, were you banking them so that way?
So that
Because you probably have so many episodes banked right now.
we have only 14.
Okay,
but
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. So if the week I'm gone, the 2 weeks I'm gone, and then the week I get back, so I don't have to do it the week I get back.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And are you guys doing like Airbnb, resort to resort,
I
hotel to
don't
hotel,
know. Noelle planned the whole
mansion
thing. Guess
to
what?
mansion?
I'm showing up and paying her.
That's actually so nice.
I was like, "Do you need money?" She's like, "I haven't maxed out my credit card yet." Pay me. I'm like, all right.
I'll tell you.
I don't know the itinerary. I know where we're flying. We're flying into Venice.
What's the weather going to be like? Do you know that?
No idea.
Just don't pack and shop.
I had a girl come over and help me pack. Lindsay Shores is her name. She's amazing. We did a capsule packing.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever going on a long trip, she's incredible. She doesn't actually do it. She's starting a new company. Oh, this is genius. I want to shout her out.
Yeah. Let's shout her out.
You know, when you travel, diapers,
Yes.
you almost
They
have
take
to
up
pack
so much space.
a whole suitcase. She has figured out she vacuum packs 1 diaper, 5 wipes. They get this small.
That's genius.
Genius.
How will she be able to? Will she have to partner with a diaper brand?
No, because you can just like 80% of the American consumer diapers are made in the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually love that.
Yeah, a lot of them up here in Logan.
Well, we love to make babies here.
We're good at it,
especially in Logan.
Yeah. So, she's just getting them made, and the diapers, the wipes are all generic brand, but like just to have them.
That's genius.
Ready to go. She wants to get into airports and yeah.
No, that's so smart.
Yeah.
You could even put them in vending machines.
Yeah.
Make diaper vending machines.
Yeah.
Does she have a name for it yet?
I don't remember. I'll ask her.
Because that would be really smart.
I'll put it on my Insta. She's amazing. So she came over, helped me pack. So I think she looked at the weather.
She's like, you probably shouldn't wear
We're packing a lot of
this.
layers. It's springtime, you know, during the day and then at night.
My parents were just in Paris.
Okay.
And they loved it. They said the weather was like a little chilly. I don't know what the weather is versus Paris and Italy. My geographic map is not great.
I think they're about the same.
What's near there? I'm not quite sure. But the flight, are you going to have a bougie flight or are you flying private?
No, but we did do Delta One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So it changes your life.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
And I refuse to fly Delta One with my kids.
They can't be, they can't know that life.
No.
the only bougie thing I get about traveling is I'm part of the Sky Club.
Oh, of course, obviously.
So like obviously.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I sit anywhere nice on the airplane. I sit Comfort Plus most of the time,
Yeah.
you know. But if I were to fly that long, I would have to do something bougie. I don't think I could survive.
There is actually an airline. We found it while we were looking up. It is, I can't remember the name of it, but if you search Newark to Milan, lay down plane, the whole plane is lay down.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not, it was like 2,700 for round trip.
That's like really not bad.
Yeah. It's like Spirit. So they only fly on certain days.
Okay.
But the whole plane, lay down. Lay down changes your life. You get there, you're ready to go.
Never experienced it, but it's on my vision board.
I've only done it once before.
Well, I'm excited for you to just live it up in Italy.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Wait, is Christian going?
No.
Just you?
It's girls' trip.
Girls'
It's Noelle's
trip.
50th birthday.
That's a good 50th birthday.
Yeah.
That's a long time, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
It's going to be fun.
Soak it up. What
Thank
else?
you.
What else is happening? And we had Easter.
Oh, it was so fun. My kids did not want to do an Easter egg hunt this year.
Are they over that phase?
Yeah, they said they are, but I did fun baskets.
What'd you put in their baskets?
Okay.
Anything bougie?
Well, what would you get a teenager? Do you even know?
Honestly, at this point, I don't. I really don't even know.
So I got everyone Crocs
Okay.
and then Croc boot angles or whatever they're called.
Because that's in now.
Yeah, so they could decorate all their Crocs.
Okay.
And then we did weighted stuffed animals.
Cute.
So it's like a anxiety thing.
Yeah.
And then we did Gus got practice butterfly knives.
Okay, what is that?
You know what a butterfly knife is?
No.
Okay, I did.
Oh, is it a pocket knife?
Yeah, it's a pocket knife, but it flips open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's practice ones that don't have a knife. It just has like a fake blade in.
Okay.
And all the boys at his school have them.
Sounds very Boy Scouty.
It's just, he does tricks with them. You do tricks with
you
them.
do? Oh, I've never heard of that.
Right. And then they got a cross necklace. And Hattie got a ton of like hair stuff and makeup stuff.
Did you get anything from the Easter Bunny?
A nap?
That's all you really need.
I give myself everything I want when I want it. I'm impossible to buy for.
That's how my husband is. Like Christmas, birthdays. He's like, if I wanted it, I already would have bought it.
Yeah.
So
And then my husband bought himself some new gaming a new gaming headset. So
nice.
Yeah.
What games does he play?
I'm going to Italy for Easter.
Yeah, that's right. Like that's the biggest gift of all.
I don't know.
Like Call of Duty stuff.
I possibly, I don't know what he plays.
Like I'm not home.
Well, and it's so non-threatening to me.
Yeah.
Like I think when it is annoying to have your spouse playing video games
For
if
sure.
you have there are times when it's annoying, but I just actually love that he's like leaving me alone.
Yeah, he has his own thing.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's got his
your
buddies that he plays with and
That's great. I love it. My Easter, I couldn't do an Easter egg hunt because I have so much snow.
Where would have you done it?
That would have been really fun watching my 2-year-old and 4-year-old. We would just throw them in the snow, just chuck them and just swim through it, sis.
Yeah,
you
have fun
find
getting
it.
back.
Yeah. We did go to Ogden to visit Caleb's grandma and they didn't have any snow.
Oh,
so we
cute.
got to do an Easter egg hunt there. And you would have thought it was 90 degrees outside. My son had his shirt off. We were sunbathing.
It was like 45.
Basically. Yeah. Oh, it was summer for us. So we did that. I'm 32 weeks pregnant. So that's, always an update that people want to know. How's pregnancy? Still the same. Still
Are you
the same.
sleeping?
No, now I'm at the point where I wake up and go pee every 2 hours.
Do you have heartburn?
So bad. Last night was so bad. I thought I was going to throw up lava.
And so it just does it hurt here yet?
Oh,
Like
no,
on the side?
No, mine, it's like all in my chest. And I just feel like I'm suffocating on hot lava.
Have you ever tried kefir?
No, what is that?
It's like yogurt drink.
Oh, okay. It's not for heartburn.
No, but
it helps?
I feel like it helps me.
Because they say on the internet that yogurt, milk, those things really help with heartburn.
Yeah.
I used to take a magnesium pill.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I stopped taking it. It just like, I thought I was like not having heartburn this pregnancy. I was just like, oh, this is my last pill. I won't buy more. And then now I'm like, I need to go buy more because magnesium helps a ton for me. But yeah, the heartburn's rough. The being uncomfortable is rough. I feel like I've officially like popped to where it's like nothing fits me.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Do you also
tired.
feel like claustrophobic with a lot of people wanting, like, are you overstimulated touch wise?
Not really. I mean, it depends. My 2-year-old definitely wants me all the time, but I try to leave the house. Like I don't like to be
smart.
home
Yeah.
because if we're home, it's like let's snuggle, hold me, cuddle me, and I'm just like, okay, no.
Yeah.
So we leave. I'm like, let's go to the park. Let's go to Thanksgiving Point. Let's go literally anywhere so you can just run. The only problem with that is then I have to pee every second, and so I'm like, okay, kids, back to the bathroom. So I've gotten really good at holding my pee to a point where it might be unhealthy. Like I'm like sucking the pee back inside of me. But yeah. And then
Do you love having babies
no.
at the hospital?
Yes. I love being waited on.
Oh,
Because
I
my husband
love
doesn't wait
having
on
a
me.
baby.
I like the experience. It's a really cool experience.
I think it's so fun.
It's so exciting to like pack your bag and you're like, what's he gonna look like?
Right.
How much are they gonna weigh? And just the anticipation of it all is so exciting.
Right.
The actual labor, my first was terrifying and horrible, and I hated every second of it. And then my second, it was just really quick. I was like, I pushed a couple of times and it was done, and I was kind of like, wait, that was it. So I'm excited to have this one and have both of those experiences and really get to like soak this one in, and especially because I think this is my last, to just really be like, okay, this is it. Enjoy every minute of it. Each contraction, all of it, because I don't know if I'm going to be doing it again, but I definitely don't like pregnancy. I'm not one of those women that loves to be pregnant.
I'm actually such a good pregnant person.
Really?
Yeah, it's just so easy for me.
But
I have terrible births and then terrible postpartum. So I feel like it's a trade-off.
Yeah, it's a trade-off for sure. Cause like my last pregnancy, I feel like I didn't throw up. I wasn't sick. I didn't have heartburn, but my postpartum was hell. This one, I have like prenatal depression. Like I'm sad when I'm pregnant. I was the same way with my first. Heartburn. I still throw up every morning, which I prefer throwing up in the morning than at night, because it's not like at night it's food. In the morning it's just like stomach acid, so whatever. But I'm hoping that means that my postpartum is like a breeze.
Yeah,
and
you
like
earned
chill,
it. Yeah,
because I can't even imagine being depressed and having all the anxiety that comes with motherhood with 3 children. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my big girl pants on.
You're gonna get it done.
I'm gonna get it done because I'm doing a good job.
Girl, you are doing a good job.
Pop culture trash.
Let's go.
Taylor Swift
Do you believe it?
and Joe break up, apparently. Here's the thing. When has Taylor ever openly confirmed rumors ever? She doesn't.
No. But here's why I think it's true.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because the news actually came out on Friday. And it was reputable. It wasn't TMZ. And it wasn't TikTok announcing it. It was like people, Vanity Fair.
But like, who gave them that information?
Probably
like
someone in her camp.
Well, and I don't know.
Because they had people, they were like, according to a source, they had broken up weeks ago. The relationship had just run its course.
It says Taylor Swift and her longtime boyfriend, Joe Alwyn. Is that how you say his last name?
I think so. You did good.
I'm trying.
You're so good.
Have broken up. ET broke the news on Saturday, reporting that the couple split a few weeks ago, but the uncoupling was amicable and not dramatic, which isn't always how Taylor Swift breakups go. The outlet goes on to say, the citing sources, the relationship had simply run its course. And that's why Joe hasn't been at any of the concerts lately. And apparently they've just gone their separate ways, and Taylor's touring right now. And then there's also rumors that she's with someone else now.
Who's older
and keeping it quiet. Like she is. She's very private.
Mm-hmm.
But they were together 6 years.
6 years.
It's a long, long time. We know from one of her songs that she had a miscarriage.
Oh.
So they got pregnant, unless she was writing it for someone else, because she does that too, where she kind of makes up stories for people or people in her life that go through things. Like the song 15, one of my favorites. But so I don't know. I feel like it's kind of crazy for it to come out so randomly while she's in the middle of tour.
Okay, but Friday is a day you drop news that you want to get buried. Because think about it.
Yeah, the weekend passes
Actually,
over.
how many people are really talking about it? It was also the weekend before Easter.
Yeah, but like Taylor Swift, it doesn't matter when you post it.
Yeah.
The Swifties are crazy.
I know. And if you dig into that algorithm, you're going to get more of it. But like on the national level,
True.
It's not as much as you would think.
Because on TikTok, people are like pulling every little piece of the puzzle. Like the necklace that he gave her, it's like a circle with his initial, and she was wearing it last night in New York.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe I don't know where she was, but at dinner, so people were like, "Oh, it's not real. It didn't happen."
I also think she does stuff just to mess with everyone.
Well, she's like
The queen of
she's
Easter
a
eggs.
mastermind.
Yes, she is a mastermind.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, she's kind of like maybe psycho. Like, not psycho, diabolical. Like,
Yeah.
really just knows how to drop Easter eggs and keep things going for so long. Like the Eras tour, this is something she's thought about for years.
Yeah.
Like how she wants to come up with her albums and how she wants everything to play out. Like it knows what she's doing.
Genius.
She's genius.
Yeah.
So, but then I go back to why now? Why are we getting this information now? I don't know. If it's true, if it's not true,
Well,
I don't think she'll ever come out and say it.
no. Why would you?
So
Why would you? She never confirms anything.
nothing.
She just lets people think what they want to think and is not concerned with correcting it.
No.
And it's amazing.
It's genius.
Yeah.
We have Kim K. She's going to be in American Horror Story.
I have never
Season
watched
12.
that show. Have you?
Yes, and it's weird.
It's disturbing,
It's
right?
disturbing. There's been a couple of seasons that I've had to skip through because I'm like, this makes me feel icky. This makes me feel gross. But I don't know. Kim Kardashian is like a parody to me.
Is it a continual?
So they do
Storyline?
No, so every storyline is different, but they use the same cast, and then they usually throw in like new special guests every now and then. So this time it's going to be Kim Kardashian and I think Emma Watson.
Mm.
But or Emma Roberts, sorry. But Emma Roberts is always in it. She's like one of the main characters. And this one, I don't know. I feel like if Kim Kardashian's in it, I'm not going to take it seriously. I'm just not.
Why? You don't think she could act?
I think she's a parody. I think when they put her in things, it's like a joke kind of.
Did you watch SNL with her?
Yeah, and she did an okay job. I think SNL's different because it's
Yeah.
a skit and
Mhm.
it's meant to be a parody. It's meant to be like this like funny like let's make fun of people type of thing.
Yeah.
But American Horror Story is like serious acting. It's like really intense and weird. And sorry, I said Emma Roberts is a main character, but this is her first time. Or no, it's not her first time, but she's definitely not a main character in it.
Okay.
And so I can't picture her having a set role that's like legit and serious and not like them, unless she's playing herself. That could make sense because it's high
Yeah.
school themed. So maybe if she's playing herself and these girls are obsessed with Kim Kardashian and like she does, she plays some role in it as Kim Kardashian.
Are they filming now or has it come out?
Let's see here. They already filmed
Oh, okay.
most of it. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. It's season 12. I can't believe they've had 12 seasons.
Here's something that I heard recently about Kim Kardashian. I don't remember if it was on a podcast or something, but she understands that she's going to drop out of relevance and then she needs to come back as a gay icon.
A gay icon?
Yeah. Think about all of the
Yeah.
like Madonna,
Lady
Cher,
Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Like she understands that she's going to drop out of relevance and then her comeback will be as a gay icon.
Okay.
So I think everything she does is strategic
For sure.
and along that kind of thing. That's why she has her companies, because she's like pretty much separated from them a little bit, you know? So I'm interested actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like acting is not necessarily her thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like maybe she'll play a role as
What if
herself.
she got an acting coach? Would we be proud of her? Do you like the Kardashians?
I like the Kardashians. I don't know. Ever since the Balenciaga stuff with them, I
Oh.
don't love the way that they handle certain situations. They're definitely very good at what's the word? Their publicists probably make so much money because they're very good at hiding behind things, changing the dynamic, the storyline, and never like coming out and open and like addressing issues that they are faced with, it's always like brushed under the rug. Let's now take a picture of Chloe and Tristan to like make people not look at what's going on over here. And so that's always kind of bugged me with the Kardashians. And then with Balenciaga, I feel like they never really said what I wanted them to say and what everyone wanted them to say, which was, this is so wrong. Like, this ad campaign isn't okay. And like, I'm no longer going to work with them. It was like, let's twist this so it's politically correct, but not really what people want to hear. And then ever since then, they've kind of just been on the lay low a little bit. And so I feel like this is their way of trying to switch it all up. Be like, okay, we're going to stay away from fashion. Let's do acting now. Which I don't know. I just don't think I could take her seriously as an actress. I think she's a freaking mogul. She's a businesswoman. She kills it. She's amazing. But as an actress, I don't see that.
No, it's going to be hard to take her seriously.
I just don't see that for her.
But I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, American Horror Story is definitely a weird show.
We're reporting on it right now.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
I've never watched it. I'll ask my husband. He's big into shows like that.
Yeah, it's creepy. There's some that are creepy.
No, I'm a very light content shows
same.
wise. Yeah.
Like Barbie. Barbie's coming out.
I'm excited for it.
I'm so excited for Barbie. Margot Robbie is my girl crush. I think she's so hot. Have you seen everybody getting upset that Ryan Gosling is Ken though?
Why? Why are they upset?
Because he's too old looking.
Well, I don't think so. It doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either. Because I'm like,
Ken is secondary.
And also Margot Robbie's a certain age. So like they can't get someone so young that like it doesn't work with the dynamic between him and Margot Robbie.
I thought he looked great in the trailer.
He's orange. He's spray tanned. He looks like Ken.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
My favorite part is he's like, I think we should like spend the night together. She's like, why? What are we going to do? And he's like, I don't know. Well, but we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
So like we should. No, I'm really, really excited for it. I'm going to have a baby when it comes out. So a part of me is like, do I just take my newborn baby in to go see Barbie?
Put him on the tit.
And just hope that they shut up and don't cry.
They'll sleep the whole time.
Because I want to see freaking Barbie in theaters.
Put those, borrow those headphones.
Oh, yeah.
From
that Lexi had.
From Lexi.
Yeah.
He's already too big. Have you seen that kid?
Yeah, he's a chunky monkey.
I want to squeeze him.
I want to eat him.
Yes.
I want to eat him.
He's so cute.
So cute. Lexi, your kid is so cute.
So cute.
I actually just added this. Do you see Post Malone is gonna have a Raising Cane restaurant in Utah?
Where, like in Holiday by his house?
Yes, it's by his house, and he wrapped it pink. So it's like, have you seen the pictures? It's like all posty looking.
Is that a mirror on the front?
No, it just looks like it's like a steel.
Okay, I'm obsessed with how obsessed Post Malone is with Utah.
I love that he loves it.
Like
here.
His baby mama's from here.
He loves it.
He loves Utah. He raps about it all the time. He is amazing.
He's obsessed, and
Utahns love him. We think he's Utah.
I'm just mad I've never like seen him here.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he shops at Harmon's?
I mean,
do you shop at the Lehigh one or the Draper one?
Both. It depends on the day.
Okay, let's find out where he goes grocery shopping.
I mean, I know where his house is.
Yeah, everyone does, right?
So maybe I just like start going to the Trader Joe's around that area.
I've heard people who've ran into him that he is the nicest.
Everyone I know that's ran into him has ran into him at the bars in Salt Lake City.
Okay, so let's take your pregnant butt and get up there.
Let's go find where Posty's hanging out. Except now I feel like he's kind of turning a new leaf as a dad.
Oh,
I don't know if he's going out to the bars as much. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. I heard he goes to that one by his house a lot. What is it?
Oh, I don't know.
At the mouth of the canyon?
I'm not familiar with the bars.
I don't know.
But yeah, he's opening a Raising Cane's, and
I love
looks,
it. So
looks great. Yeah, so that was a brushed stainless steel one.
Post is like us. He's a franchise owner.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not a dummy.
He really is a businessman, Bo.
Yeah,
he knows his
stuff.
stuff.
Doesn't he have a wine line?
Oh, I don't know.
I swear he has like a drinks line.
It wouldn't surprise me. Well, he works with Bud Light,
Oh, okay.
like
Maybe that's
all
it.
the time. So
Maybe he's just got
maybe
a good
it's just Bud
sponsorship. I keep sliding down on this chair.
It's a little slippery.
It's so sexy.
It's the velvet.
It's
you
so
know?
sexy.
Last thing before we move on to reality TV trash is Millie Bobby Brown is engaged. You know who that is? Stranger Things.
Yes. How
11?
old is she?
19.
Oh,
She's
too
19
young,
and
Millie.
you know who she's marrying?
Drake. Oh.
Bon Jovi's son.
Oh, cute.
Jake. And he's
Cute.
20.
Okay, cute.
Here's the thing. I got engaged at 19 and married at 20, so I feel like I don't have enough, like, I can't really talk bad about it.
What would you say to a 19-year-old though?
I would say don't get married.
If they were going to and you had to give advice.
I would tell them wait it out. But
never go to bed angry. Go to bed angry.
Go to bed angry.
You are tired. You're not making sense. You're saying mean things.
You're going to say meaner things awake than you will in your
sleep. Go
to
bed angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say with Millie Bobby Brown, she's not like and I've heard a lot of people say this on TikTok and other podcasts. Her maturity level isn't 19. Like she's had to live a more adult life as being a childhood actress. She's probably seen a lot of things that a normal 19-year-old doesn't see or go through. So like she probably is really like a 24-year-old, and in Hollywood that's still really young. But to me, I feel like 24, I can handle getting married at 24.
Listen, it's wild. Some people I know who got married at 19. At the time, I'm like, I'll be at your second marriage.
Yeah, you're not going to make it.
And they have made it.
Yeah.
And then some people, I think you are the perfect match, and they waited. They're already divorced. So like, I don't trust me to predict whether someone's going to make it or not.
No. And honestly, maybe she has like a 5-year-long engagement. Maybe they're not trying to get married right away. Maybe they're not going to have a Utah wedding where you literally get engaged and 4 months later you're married.
Right.
So who knows if it's like they just got engaged to like commit to each other on like a deeper level. But I don't hate it. And I really think, like you said, you never know. Some people might just work out. Some people might not.
I'm so happy for her.
So Millie, I'm happy
if
for you.
If she's happy, I'm happy.
But I do want to know, where are her parents? I looked up her parents after I saw this information, and I was like, are her parents normal? Are they crazy? And they're a little crazy. She has 4 siblings.
Okay.
And I feel like all the other siblings are just dirt. They just were like, we're only going to care about Millie. And they've had some controversies. If you guys want to look them up, they're a little crazy people.
Yeah, I mean, have you read that girl who was on iCarly? She wrote a book called I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like any mother that actually, if you want to encourage your child to act, fine. Like if that's your child's dream,
right,
and you want to encourage them, your one responsibility is to be a tiger mom for their safety.
Keep them safe.
Keep them safe. You have to be almost overprotective. You have to be.
The industry is not meant for children.
Moms who are more interested in their child's like notoriety than safety.
Yep.
Not good.
Yep. And that's kind of the vibe that I was getting from the article that I was reading about Millie's parents.
Like Lindsay Lohan. Poor girl. She seems like she's doing amazing.
I know. She's thriving right now. She's pregnant.
She's living in London. Everyone's leaving her alone.
Yeah.
But like her parents, trash.
Yeah. No, not good.
I really feel like they did. I genuinely think people do the best they can. But if you put your happiness over your child's safety, I don't think you're doing the best you can.
And when you're so focused on the money aspect too.
Yeah.
And
or the fame.
Like it's bad. You're living through your kid.
Yeah. You let it mean something about you. Go away. Bye.
Reality TV trash. Do you watch Love is Blind?
I don't. I'm
okay.
So
well, we don't need to talk about it then. But I will say this season, out of all the seasons, has been probably the juiciest.
Okay. Do you need to recap anything?
No, not really, because it's not over yet.
Okay.
That's the annoying thing that Netflix is doing right now, where they're only releasing like 4 episodes at a time.
No Netflix.
I hate it.
No, we don't go to you for that. You're a streaming platform.
Like, we're not cable.
No.
Like, give me like I want to binge it. I
You're
want to
not
watch
Apple
all
TV.
of it.
Nice
now.
try.
No,
Bye.
it pisses me off. So no, we're not going to recap it because there's still more episodes to come.
Okay, we're protesting.
So this is me making a stand that I will not be recapping it.
Okay.
Mostly because Susan hasn't watched it, but we'll pretend it's because of this. All right, Trash Topic Can. You ready to pick a topic out of this trash can?
Okay.
What's it going to be?
Best vacation I've ever been on.
Okay, well, this is so not rated R.
Should we do another one?
Well, you can answer this and we can do another one.
literally, I don't care. It's just if I'm with my kids, I'm having a best. Like, it's just so fun to travel with them right now.
At what point was it fun to travel with them? Because I'm not there yet.
Post naps.
Okay.
Post naps.
Okay.
And I'm a nap Nazi.
Are you?
Oh,
You love a schedule?
love it. Everyone thrives. Everyone does better when they sleep.
See, but like I'm such a schedule person, but my kids are not good nappers.
Oh,
My son is. He's much better, but it took a minute. My daughter, I don't think she's ever napped longer than 25 minutes in her life.
she does not love you.
No, she really doesn't. If you met her, you would know. She's a sass queen.
We just got back from Boise, and it was just so fun. They're just so fun.
What'd you do in Boise?
Literally, I don't know.
Why were you there?
My best friend from high school, like, we always get together. We get together twice a year at least.
That's fun.
And her kids line up with my kids, and she was going there during spring break for her husband's, I don't know, he had a class for his work. And so I was like, oh, we'll go. We'll meet you halfway.
Boise?
Because she's 10 hours away. And we went to Topgolf. We went to a hockey game. The kids.
Just chill. Did you have like an Airbnb?
No, we did a hotel, and the kids ran around the hotel. And
just have a good time?
yeah, like Chris and I are in one room. They're in another room. This is a beauty.
See, yeah, that sounds great.
9:30, we're going to bed.
Yeah.
And they're running. They went and worked out. They went to the pool. Like,
You're like,
we're asleep.
see ya.
Yeah.
And they're old enough to where like you trust them. It's
Yeah,
like,
and they're with Amy's kids, and so nothing's gonna happen.
yeah, you're like, you're safe.
Besides, they might get a little too rowdy.
Yeah, we
but
might get a
that's,
noise complaint.
Like, if you get yelled at by the hotel manager when you're 14, that just builds character.
oh, that's like the highlight
yes,
of your
it's
life.
a good story.
You're like, remember that one time? When
Do
they-
it for the plot.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
No, hotels when you're in high school and like middle school. I remember soccer tournaments, going to the hotels, and like
Yeah,
best thing ever.
I'm telling you, when your kids get old enough. At first, we started with a joining room.
Yeah.
Like, there's a door in between,
Yeah.
but you need to be over there. We'll be
Yeah.
over here. Now, luckily, they put us right next to each other.
Yeah.
Because I always feel more comfortable like
Oh,
that.
for sure.
But really, they're old enough to have their own room. We're at the point where we can go to Salt Lake for the night and leave
Yeah.
our kids home all by themselves.
That's yeah. Well, because yeah, she's a junior.
Yeah.
I was a freaking full time nanny at that.
I'm always
age.
like, please don't pull any knives on your siblings.
that was me.
We've always been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite trip, honestly, just barely went to Disneyland. I'm
Oh.
not a Disney person.
Okay.
I want to make that very clear. So for me, saying this is huge. But Disneyland with kids is magical.
Okay.
We went 2 years ago and they were just too young. It wasn't as fun. But this time I really was like, okay, I get it. Like you Disney freaks, I get it. Like this is really cool. Maybe I am a Disney adult now. I don't know. Probably not. But it was fun. It was really fun. Like seeing the excitement. We got there in the morning and we stayed all the way till fireworks, and that's the first time we ever did that. And it was so much fun. So I'm with you. Like I like traveling with my kids, but it has to be a place that keeps my kids busy and like their full attention. And that's Disneyland.
Mm.
Like, I don't think I would enjoy going somewhere relaxing with my children, like
Not yet.
Mexico.
No, not yet. But you will.
No, I can tell you my worst vacation was just barely in Mexico. That was horrible.
Oh,
But
yeah. Because did you already talk about it on the pod?
yeah, everything was horrible.
Yes.
I talked about it with Jason. If anybody wants to listen, it was literally the
It was
worst.
so good.
But it's fine. It's whatever.
Okay, I'm drawing another one.
Okay, next one. It's like,
Has anyone ever done 2?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Just because like sometimes
Has anyone
they're a
ever
little
done
boring.
3?
No. Should we be the first?
Are you ready to get rid of me? Do you have to pee?
Oh, no, I can hold it. What is it?
Funniest sex story.
Okay, let's hear it. This is a good one.
I one time accidentally sexted my mom.
Like a picture? Oh.
Okay, but let me give a little more context.
Oh.
So Christian was out of town,
Okay.
and iMessage had just come out, and it was
Okay.
on my computer. My mom was using my computer.
Oh.
I was up in my bedroom taking a couple sexy pictures for him. And
How sexy.
graphic.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And I sent them to him, but it popped up. iMessage used to pop up, and it popped up on while my mom's using my computer
Oh no. And you're in the same house.
in the same house. And I all of a sudden hear her go, Susan.
And your mom's like, you said your mom's like a conservative type of.
No, she's, well, yeah, I mean, she's conservative,
She's
but
a
she
farm
also
mom.
like, she's lived her life.
Yeah. Okay.
But she was just like shocked that all of a sudden she's seeing parts of me she hasn't seen
Yeah.
since she changed my diaper.
She's like, oh, Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you go from there?
I just was like, get real, Mom. Everyone does this.
It's normal. It's fine. And did he appreciate the photos?
Yeah, but they were a little tainted.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't as great anymore.
Yeah. No, and when he knew my mom saw him.
Yeah.
Another time, oh my gosh, I had just hired my COO, Ethan, and we had been on a trip, I don't know, some work trip, and we were coming back, and he got us an earlier flight because he had worked for this other company and had all this status with Delta. So I like, we of course, I never sit by my employees on the plane. So we're like sitting far apart from me. No, never. No,
I don't know.
I need my alone time.
Okay, yeah.
Like, don't book your seat by mine.
Like, I'm good.
Pretend you don't know me on the plane.
Yeah. Walk 10 feet in front of me at all times.
No, it's just like, I don't want to, we see each other.
Yeah, we're not friends.
Let me.
No, I get it,
Let me
Susan.
sit by myself.
I get it.
So, I had been trying to call Chris before we took off. He wasn't answering. So I text him and say, hey, Ethan booked us an earlier flight. And he had his friends over. So I was like, send your friends home early and brush your teeth if you know what's good for you. And then it was like the horse riding emoji and the peach emoji and the hand speak, like filthy emojis.
Yeah.
Like
no pictures, but emojis.
Emojis. And turn off my phone, go to sleep. Wake up. We're about halfway through the flight. I like turn on my phone, log into like the Delta.
Yeah.
I had sent that to Ethan. Literally, he had been working for me for a month.
And he's all the way in the back, like,
and I'm like,
that's not meant for me.
Oh my gosh. Like, what did I do?
Sorry, Ethan.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go grab his phone and be like, I'll give this right back to you. And then I'm going to like log it.
Yeah.
And then I get a text. It was like, I don't think he meant this for me, but strong emoji game. And I was
like, how old is Ethan?
He was, I don't know. He's like 5 or 6 years younger than me.
Okay. All right.
But I'm his boss.
Yeah.
He was single at the time. I don't think he'd been married.
Oh gosh.
And so plane lands. I'm up. I'm out. I run to my car hoping I don't see Ethan.
It's like, hope he brushed his teeth.
I died.
Oh. Okay, so you have like a sexting problem.
No, it's not a problem.
Not a problem. It's just all your.
It's a fun way to flirt.
Yeah.
I
don't sex very much.
You never send like flirty littles.
Like if I did, it would be so random. My husband would be confused.
Well, now that you have that private folder in your photos.
Oh yeah.
That is like hidden, but
ID.
you have to do your face ID.
For all my before and after photos.
I feel so much safer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, no, I like to be flirty over text.
I'll be flirty. Like I'll be like, I want to do you when you get home. But then I never do him when he gets home because we have our little kids and it gets crazy.
Yeah.
I've never sent like a picture of my vagina to my husband.
Why not?
I don't love it. Like I don't.
You don't do it for you.
But I don't think he would love it either. I don't think me and my husband are like that.
Oh, okay.
Like if I sent him a picture of my vagina, he'd be like,
what about your boobs?
Boobs? Oh yeah.
See?
Boobs.
Yeah.
I'll send a picture of my titties.
Yeah.
No, my funny story is much more graphic.
Okay.
And people are going to look at me a little differently, and that's okay because
are you ready for this?
Weekly trash. This is what we do.
Okay.
69. You heard of it? It's a good position.
You know what's funny? My kids say 69 and they think I will not. Remember when you were a teenager and you thought you invented stuff?
Yeah. Like it's this new thing.
Yeah. They say it and they'll be like look at each other
Mom
and
has
laugh.
No idea.
And I'm like, you don't even know how to do it.
Like do you even know? Mom and dad did that last night. No. Like, come on. No, 69. Me and Caleb had just gotten married.
Okay.
We hadn't done it before, you know? And so I was like, let's do 69 tonight.
Let's try it.
So I prepped, obviously, you know,
obviously
I shaved, I washed, I made sure I was nice and clean. I took a shower before. I wanted to be pristine for this experience that we were about to have together. And you know, when you shower and you wash your hair and sometimes the hair from your head goes into your butt crack. You know how occasionally that happens?
I've never experienced this, but yes.
You haven't? Oh,
no.
Without fail. Anytime I wash my hair, I will pull out a piece of my hair out of my asshole.
Oh my gosh.
All the time.
Wild.
I don't know why it happens. Maybe I have such a flat ass that it just like goes right in. There's no like sloop or anything.
Yeah, okay.
So me and my husband, you know, and like I said, my husband's not the kind of husband that would enjoy a picture of my vagina or like that's just not, we're not like that.
Okay.
And so he has like really bad gag reflex, and he's just not, we're not like dirty, like crazy, kinky people. I mean, I can be, but that's just not us usually. So we start the 69 process. And
Yeah.
for those who aren't aware of what 69 is, let me inform you. It's when you suck his dick while he eats you out, and you make the position of 69.
Yeah.
Your business partners are going to love this. The general conference people, they're going to really enjoy this story.
Oh my God. Listen,
So
we're all well-rounded.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to have a little diversity here and
Yeah.
there. So I'm doing my thing, and all of a sudden I hear my husband go, and I'm like, what? Pulls out this long ass piece of hair out of his mouth and is like, I'm done. Get off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. He literally thought he was going to die. Like, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to him. I was so embarrassed because I was like, oh my gosh, I have long hair in my ass. But it wasn't like my ass hair. It was my hair extensions that I pay for that just shed into my butt. And we have never attempted to do it again, ever.
Wow.
So I'm scarred.
I didn't know he was a quitter.
He is. He is. No, like I have friends that are like, oh, my husband, like he likes it when we have sex after we work out and we're dirty and stuff like that. No, my husband's like, barf. No, like it has to be clean. Everything has to be clean. And so that was a very traumatizing moment for him, as for me.
Okay.
And now every time I get out of the shower, I make sure my butt crack has no hairs in it, just in case we want to get frisky and do 69.
Yeah.
So here's your warning to everybody. If you're doing 69, check your butt crack.
Yeah, and you tend to get
for long hairs.
Hair stuck down there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be one thing if just like maybe a little peach fuzz, right? But like, no, it was like a long piece of hair choking him. So that's my super funny, embarrassing story that happened almost 7 years ago.
Okay.
Our anniversary is in 2 weeks. 7 years. How long have you been married? You got married in 2004?
I'll be 19 this year. 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the secret, Susan? Sexting?
The secret is just deciding to be completely delighted by your spouse.
Oh, I love that.
It's just like, just change your mindset and just be completely delighted by them.
I love that.
And then anytime you get in a fight, just try to get through it quick and say sorry. And
yeah. They're just the best person in your mind.
Yeah.
They're just.
I did that with my kids. I did that with my mom, and it's changed my life.
I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Because they always say year 7 is where.
Oh, 7-year itch. Do you know what? It's only for women.
Really?
Yeah. Men have it later. But women, it's like you look around, you have a couple kids. Things are not where they used to be because of gravity. You definitely feel overworked, overrun. And you look around and you're like, is this what I was trying to get into?
Yeah.
This is it?
No, for sure.
I had it. I had the 7-year itch. That's what my therapist told me. It was a women thing.
Because I feel like this podcast saved me from that, actually.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would be getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But because I have this outlet to do something that's outside of motherhood, being a wife.
Yeah, connection.
Yeah, I feel like I've avoided that.
Oh, amazing.
So hopefully.
Yeah, you will.
Hopefully it's good.
Not everything that is like common do you have to go through.
Right?
Yeah. And I think sometimes when you know about it, you can observe it. You can observe yourself doing it rather than feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Should we do one more?
Yeah.
I want to be the girl that did 3.
Let's do it. Let's do 3.
Okay.
I got all day.
I want to be the girl that did 3.
Threesomes.
Oh,
Have you done a threesome, Susan?
Oh, this is cute. Favorite animal and why? Do you like animals?
I have 2 massive dogs.
Oh, that's right.
But like, should we do like exotic animals or should we do like pet animals?
I just like dogs.
You just like dogs.
Yeah.
You have a dog.
We have a dog.
It's a
He's a
little
golden
one.
doodle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you told me you would sell your dog.
I told you that privately. I don't want the dog lovers to come after me right now.
Here's the thing. I'll do anything for a price.
Yeah, I would. I actually, if I was short on money and I needed to sell avocado. Yeah.
Is his name Avocado?
Yeah, I'd sell him to a really
cute.
good family. Gus named him. So we're getting there.
Okay.
He needs me now.
Yeah.
So like he likes me to tuck him in at night.
Oh.
And we have a little moment. And so I actually really like him.
So there's an extreme bond there. So dogs are your thing.
It's a slight bond.
Was he the first dog you've ever owned?
No, we had another one.
Okay. See, I love my dogs, but I'm at that point where it's like I feel like I have 4 kids because I
Yeah.
have 2 dogs, 2 kids, and they're a lot. My dogs aren't the golden doodle that can just like be inside the house. Like my dogs are massive and they're hairy and they're just a lot.
Okay.
And so when I have them in my house and my 2 kids at the same time, it's like a full-on circus. And I said this in another episode where I finally realized why people like get rid of their dogs after they have kids, which I would never do. And I feel like I should get a round of applause for keeping my dogs because they literally are not the easiest. They're very high maintenance. They need a lot of walks. They need a lot of attention. They're horses, basically. So I love my dogs, but I kind of have this new obsession, and it's recent. Bunnies. Bunnies are the cutest thing on the planet.
Have you seen the bunnies on TikTok eating strawberries?
Yes. No, my For You page is these cute freaking bunnies. And we went to the farm yesterday, Thanksgiving Point, and they have bunnies. And I wanted to steal them. There was baby bunnies. I wanted to go and steal them and run away. I'm allergic to them.
Oh, okay.
I'm also allergic to dogs and cats.
Okay, perfect.
But I have like this immunity to my dogs. I don't know what it is. Like I'm not allergic to them, but any other dog I am. But I want a bunny.
You should get one.
I don't think I should.
Okay,
I don't think I should.
No. But
I'm really obsessed with looking at them. I think I want to hold them. I want to munch on them. Oh, they're so cute. They're so cute.
You like animals.
I like animals. Animals and babies to me are one and the same.
Oh, really?
Like I want to eat both of them.
I've never been that into animals, but I love babies.
Anything that's just like chunky and cute.
Mm-hmm. And little.
And these bunnies, they have these little noses and they like sniff and then they're these fluffy cheeks. No, the bunnies at Thanksgiving Point, if one of them goes missing, you know that I took it.
Yeah, like a hawk took it.
Yeah.
Named Josie.
Yeah, and I just have it in my basement. But they have a lot of needs. That's the thing. Animals and their needs. That's like when you get an animal, that's a full-time gig.
Yeah.
I got a fish. I got a beta fish for
Yeah.
Bentley because she really wanted to fish. Turns out those things need a lot more than just a bowl of water.
What do you have to do?
Well, I asked the guy at PetSmart. I said, "What fish should I get that requires the least amount of maintenance?
Yeah.
Can be in the smallest amount of water?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, these beta fish. It's like living in like a little Tupperware." I'm like, "Okay, this thing's gonna have a bougie life compared to this Tupperware. Bring it home, put it in this little cute little glass vase water, fill it with water, do the drops to like clarify the water, give it its food." Freaking won't eat the food. So I go on Instagram and I'm like, "Does anybody know why my beta fish is not eating its food?" And they're like, "It's depressed because you have too small of a living area for it, and it needs rocks to hide under, and it needs fluorescent lights to not be in its presence." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
So what, like $300 later?
Literally, I'm like, "Somebody adopt this fish for me." Its name is Dragon Moonicorn. Bentley named it.
Oh, Moonicorn.
Moonicorn.
She's cute.
Dragon Moonicorn. If anybody wants to adopt it, she was cool with it for about 2 days and now she's forgotten that it even exists. But I still have to clean the tank, make sure it's alive, feed it stress because it's not eating.
So you want it to go to a loving family.
I want to go to so here's my ad.
Must pick up.
Must pick up. It's free. You can have it.
All the stuff.
I have the food. I have the clarifying drops. You can even take the cute little bowl that I put it in. Because, I mean, I don't know how else you would take it home with you because it needs water. But I can't do this.
Must be gone by May 18th.
Must be. Must be. If anybody wants a cute beta fish.
Yeah, come get it.
Come get it.
Moonicorn. She's up for grabs.
Dragon Moonicorn.
Oh, she's amazing.
It's a dragon Moonicorn because it's
You
a
should
boy.
You should let her name the baby.
She kind of did. It's Banks.
Which is the cutest name, by the way.
Thanks. And I wasn't going to do the all B thing, but she heard it. She heard me just kind of talking about it. Immediately stuck. Baby Banks.
I love how she
Banks.
named the fish Moonicorn.
Moonicorn.
I wish she would have named it Boonicorn. And all the bees.
Then I really would have all the bees.
Yes.
Boonicorn. No, she's obsessed with unicorns. And the way she says it, I hope she always calls them unicorns.
You know what is the saddest thing in the world? Is when your kids start to get like 7, 8, 9, and 10 and they stop saying words.
They lose the baby voice.
Yes. Well, they lose a baby voice, but like they just stop saying, because like the kids at school beat it out of them.
Yeah.
And they stop saying things wrong. And it's so sad.
No, that's going to make me sad.
Yeah.
Because, she says moonicorn, or instead of saying we, like we will go to the park later. She says, us go to the park later. Us go ice cream, us going now. And it's so cute.
That's
and I'm just
so
like,
cute.
don't ever stop. But my kids talk a lot. I don't know where they got it from, but
that's so shocking to me.
they talk so much. Every time people hear Brooks, who's 2, they're like, he talks so much for his age. I'm like, yeah, my kids, once you get him talking, his words are tractor, 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 tractor. And the way he says mama is like the cutest thing. Mama.
Oh.
And I'm like, I want to eat your face. So I just hope they don't ever lose it, but they will.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
And when they're 8, they're kind of ugly.
No. 8-year. You know what? Here's the thing. Kids are the best at every age. I'm a firm
Is that
believer in
true?
that. 13 is the only hard year.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of emotions, and it's when you're
They start
like,
getting zits.
yeah, your hormones start dropping and everything kind of, you have a lot of feelings that you got to
Okay.
figure it out.
So 13.
Yeah. And then after that, it's just so fun.
Because I feel like I was an ugly, annoying 8-year-old.
Yeah. But your mom thinks you're cute.
I don't know. I think she probably hated me at 8 years old. I was such a little bitch.
I would have loved it.
I literally would tell my mom I hated her at
Well,
8 years old.
She probably just, listen, she was completely delighted by you.
I'll tell myself that. But see, my little sister was always a saint. So I was like, just like the monster child that they were like, where did you come from? And I have a feeling both my kids are monsters.
Yeah, but it's just like my grandma would always say, it's either a good time or it's a good story.
I love that.
And you know what? Both are fun.
I love that. It's either a good time or a good story.
Yeah.
Way
Like
to
your
end
Mexico
it.
trip.
Good
Good
story.
story.
So true. Sometimes it's a little too fresh and you're like,
Not yet.
it's not a good story yet, Grandma.
And when it's both, oh, unreal.
When I feel like with kids, you get a lot of good times and good stories for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Well, Susan, thanks so much for being on this podcast.
Thank you for
coming
having
on
me.
Weekly Trash. I know you had a busy day with your masterminds and your brain's probably fried.
This was so easy. You made it so easy.
Well, I love you. Thanks for coming on. You guys have the best weekend. It's Wednesday. I always get confused when I do podcasts on Wednesdays.
Thank you for doing this for me.
No, I do this quite often.
We both
actually.
record on Thursdays, so
I kind of like doing Wednesdays.
we
Wednesdays are
had to
kinda
make
nice.
exceptions for each
Yeah,
other.
No,
it was
and
perfect.
I'm grateful that you're here. And you guys have the best time, like I already said. And do not forget to take out your trash. Bye, everybody.